Welcome to the third hour of Kenya's biggest conversation. This is a Situation Room broadcasting from Nairobi to the world. There's a gentleman who is a very good friend of ours, Ndu.
Yes.
And his name is Ruben Kigame.
Yes.
And he says, I say hello to you.
Good morning.
He's watching us from America. Sasa kwake ni good night. Amesema he's watching us all the way from America.
Fantastic.
America. Amesema say hello to Ndu Ako.
Nipokea salama, asante sana.
Yeah. I know some people say Ruben Kigame is watching. Yes.
Yes, he is. Acha kikwetu hivyo.
Yeah, acha kikwetu hivyo. He's at the Grand Rapids in Michigan, Calvin University. Huko ndio yako. Okay. Yes. Haya. 2,000 bob gives you what? 17 GB of data. What else?
2,000 air messages, 2,000 SMSs.
And what else?
1,000 minutes talk time.
And what else?
Free WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because you did what?
That's
you
it.
took your phone, you dialed *44# *544#, and then you went to number 4 option, which is go monthly. Thereafter, you picked the option that was all in one. And when you picked that, you saw different options: 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings. 2,000 shillings gets you that great stuff, doesn't it? 1,000 minutes talk time, 2,000 SMSs, 17 GB data, free WhatsApp. What does it mean? You have freedom. That's what you've bought.
Yep.
So you never have to be in a situation where you've run out of airtime. You can't get from point A to point B. You can't call your cab because you've run out of data. Nah. You pay one amount for the whole month and you never run short. All in one with Safaricom. Do it today. Guess what? You could also win 3,000 shillings just because you did. Yeah.
How does one do that?
Well, you subscribe to the all-in-one tariff.
Yeah.
You get all the information. Send us a screenshot that you've actually purchased on our DM Spice FM KE, and Avin could award you 3,000 bob today just because you did.
Avin. AVIN.
Yes, please.
Okay. Our
Don't
Gen
put
Z
R's
guy.
and L's.
Okay.
Let's
So
do
that's
it.
all you need to do. Our next guest is seated right here. He is the governor of Murang'a County, Dr. Irungu Kang'ata. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Karibu tena sana.
Asante.
It's been a while.
Thank you.
Murang'a is far.
Yes.
Welcome. I see you've won something written, Inua Mkulima.
Yes, indeed.
What is that about?
We have a program which targets farmers. And therefore, this is like the catchphrase for those programs. That includes a subsidy program for mango farming and milk. If you are Murang'a milk or mango farmer, there's a card we give you called Inua Mkulima, like an e-voucher. You go to a supermarket and you redeem farm inputs for your animal husbandry. That is things like milking jerry, animal feed, salt, for free.
Okay.
But you use that card now to redeem those set of goods. If you are hungry, for instance, you also get certain goods like flour, milk, flour.
With the same voucher.
Yeah, bar soap, such. Up to a limit of the money that the county has put into your card. And the rationale is to incentivize farmers to join cooperatives, because the reason why farmers do not get the value of their effort is low prices. So when you aggregate them, you leverage on their numbers, you push up their prices. But also this program has a new element we call support to maize farmers. Maize farming is a food security issue, and the county of Murang'a has come up with several interventions to boost maize farming. We are providing free certified hybrid seeds to 57,000 farmers, plus free fertilizer to farmers. And from today up to 12th of October, we shall be distributing that consignment in all wards. The distribution starts today.
Well, you'll tell us more about it. Very good. Very good. Our brother City is not in today. Hasn't been in since last week. He's taken some few days off, but he'll be back. But in his absence, he told us the proverbs to give our guests when they come. This week, the proverbs will be from Senegal in West Africa. Have you been to Senegal?
No.
Yeah. I hear you should go to Senegal.
You should.
And you said Senegal has like a country that it has like fully...
It's almost surrounded. It almost surrounds the Gambia. Yeah, but then Gambia has a coastline, so it juts in and out.
So but for the coastline,
it would have swallowed
Gambia would
Zambia
have
the
been
way
inside.
South Africa swallowed Lesotho.
Bas.
Yeah.
The proverb for today, listen to it and give us your interpretation. It is better to travel alone than with a bad companion. It is better to travel alone than with a bad companion.
Yes, so
What's the interpretation of that proverb?
that it makes all the sense for you to do things singularly as opposed to bringing bad company that can bring you down. Yes.
But how do you identify the company that can bring you down?
Skill sets, reputation of that other person, experience of that other person. It all makes sense for you to seek counsel of people who are more sharper than you, so that you get your wisdom.
Those who
Let's
will
say,
help
for
you.
instance, let's say you want to do an intervention in healthcare. For instance, as a governor, I'm not a medic, so I need to get counsel from doctors. I would imagine that is a rationale.
Okay. So I'd imagine it's the same kind of thing that you thought of when you created, a revenue board and an economic council of advisors who have been helping you. And with that, the other day you credited them for the performance, the financial performance of the county government, right?
Yes, Waswahili husema kuishi kwingi,
Kuona mengi.
kuona mengi. These fellas came from Murang'a when they were young. They went to Nairobi. They conquered the city. We are talking of likes of SK Macharia, Jim Nambaru, Peter Munga. So we thought that we need to take advantage of their wisdom to help us push up Murang'a ahead. We are happy that when we joined Murang'a County Government, we used to collect about 500 million own source revenue. But within 1 year and a half or so, that has been doubled to 1.1 billion Kenya shilling.
Okay, that's very interesting. We saw the numbers, Governor, and we're looking at double plus in a year, right? A little over a year.
Yes.
So the very simple question is how?
2 ways or 3 ways. Number one is to motivate your employees because they're the one who actually do the collection. So we had a seminar that we called it the revenue conference. And we told them the rationale or why Murang'a needs to collect more money, which is, one, to execute various developmental programs for the people. Secondly, currently Murang'a has a huge workforce. We pay our salaries about 46% of our total budget against the law, which should be 35%.
You're breaking the law?
Yes,
Okay.
we are. We ought to fire people so that we reach the 50.
Or you grow your
35%.
budget.
Or we grow your budget. So to circumvent that, I told them, you guys, I don't want to send you guys home. I know you have families. The best way is to grow our budget. So I think they got the message. We also converted their terms of employment. 90% of them were casuals. They did not have letter of appointments. So we give them contracts. Now they're able to access loans. Maybe that motivated them to collect more. Secondly, automation. We have about 30 revenue streams: parking fees, markets, cess, hospital, lands. We have been able to automate all of them. So we are able to track county revenue in real time. People pay at their convenience. You find a person can pay for, let's say, parking before even he arrives to Murang'a town or wherever. And that has made collection of revenue a little bit better.
Okay.
Finally, we don't overtax our people. The last time Murang'a had a finance act was 2018. We don't have any new finance act, meaning for the last how many years? That's about 6 years. Murang'a County has not increased its revenue, or its charges, whether it is a single business permit. And also what we told the people is, at least come up with programs where you're able to see where your money goes to. Whether it's Smart City program, this Kang'ata Care, or this Inua Mkulima. Once people see that correlation, we suspect maybe they'll be more than willing to support the county.
It sounds almost mysterious, Governor, and maybe many would wonder that it's actually possible for you to use the resources that are available, but just tweaking a few things here and there, and actually not raise taxes, but grow an economy, whether it's at the county level, whatever level it is, that you can grow your economy, because that's what we're talking about. When we're talking about increasing revenue, what you've done is that you've grown the economy of the county. And it's possible to have done that without raising taxes to the extent where it's throttling the people.
Yes, but of course there are problems, and you also highlight challenges.
Please do.
Number one, these systems are internet-based. That means whenever there are internet challenges, you don't collect money, or even systems.
When systems are down.
When they are down, the county stops, literally. And some of these systems are also, they have a direct correlation with human life. So a good example is our automation of our hospital systems. So whenever they go down, you are jeopardizing people's lives. We are thinking of how to mitigate that, including creating what we call redundancy systems. When one system is down, the other one is up. Also, hosting those services in clouds helps, because rarely will you find the system going down when it's hosted in clouds. Such efforts. Also, being technologically driven, then there's some people who might not be able to interact with the same system very well. Our grannies. So that then means we have to constantly keep on training our people, having officers who can shepherd those who are unable to interact with the systems. So challenges exist.
There are many challenges. 1.2 billion shillings raised as on-source revenue, right? Up from 500 million. But what is the projected revenue capacity of Murang'a County, say by the Commission on Revenue Allocation?
They talk of 3 billion.
3B.
Yes, they talk of 3 billion. Yes.
Do you agree? Now that you've served as governor now for 2 years, when you look at Murang'a, do you think Murang'a has the capacity to actually raise 3 billion shillings?
Yes, but you really need a lot to do a deeper conversation. One of the assumptions inherent in that projection is the idea that you will add extra levies, people will pay more, but that's a difficult conversation you have with your residents, because people can fight back.
Yeah.
It's so Gen Z. So I think that's an area, it's a conversation we really need to have with Murang'a people.
What's your projection for this year?
About 1.35, an extra 150 million. We tend to go in a conservative manner. We prefer we hit the target. We really like having what we call a deficit budget. Deficit budget means you project, let's say 10, but you
raise 8.
You raise 8. So that then means that's 200 million is a deficit. So we prefer the opposite. You indicate 10, you raise 10 or 11.
And that's working for you so far. These programs that you're running, for example, the one that just told us about the Inua Mkulima, right? In even the previous government, there were farmer programs that were going on. So are you saying that you did away with those other programs that were going on before and now you have started this one? Or are there elements of the previous farmer support programs that you're carrying on?
It's both new and continuation. The milk and the mango are newish to a certain extent, particularly the way we have structured them. For instance, but of course we do have continuity. Good example of continuity is the Maragua milk factory. It was started by the previous regime. It collapsed some months to the election under huge debts. We revived it, but we took a new philosophy that is not wise for governments to do business. So we gave it to the farmers cooperative to run it on our behalf. So it has been revived. Secondly, this maize program used to be there, but it has been retweaked. One, previously they used to buy the maize from private people. Currently, we are buying this maize from government. Simlo Seed and Kenya Agricultural and Research, and Livestock Research Organization, KALO. Yeah. That's the difference. And also, we want to commercialize the engagement. We believe the reason why Kenyan farmers are poor is because they produce things they either consume without selling or they have no connection with the industry. The day we will be able to create a connection between a farmer and the market, the industry, particularly the value addition entities, farmers' incomes will rise. So we have been entering into MOUs with various manufacturers of agricultural products. We tell them, give us a guaranteed price, then we mobilize. That way, they get what they want, which is the produce, and then the farmers' income go up. Because farmers know now, this is what we shall get after we produce. So, for instance, in the mango, we entered into an MOU with a company called Kevian in Vika, producers of pick and peel. Also, Sane Mango in Kambiti, Muranga. They gave us a guaranteed price of 16 bob per kg. Previously, Muranga mangoes used to be sold at about 2 bob or 3 bob per kg.
Wow.
So that's a rise up to 16 bob. Currently, we got another company from Machakos called VATS, which has told us it will give us 18 bob per kg. When it comes to maize, we have an MOU with Joy Millers, who do Kafagara brand in Kirinyaga. They are giving us a guarantee of 3,500. So we think if we are able to achieve this, we can help mitigate rural poverty. Yeah.
And then you said this is by mobilizing farmers into cooperatives.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So how many cooperatives are there in Muranga now? And how many farmers do they represent?
Cooperatives are just too many because it depends on which value chain. Yeah. Let's say, for instance, in the milk industry, we have the largest single union, which is called MCCU, but it has about 32 small cooperatives under it. Then we have another large milk cooperatives. We call them the Big Five. So there are many cooperatives. Yes.
Are all farmers now in cooperatives, going by your assessment, by how they're getting the cards?
Definitely no. Some people sell to private people, to brokers. But to us, that's neither here or there. The logic should be push up the price of the cooperative.
Right.
Even the brokers will be compelled to hike
to compete at
that level. A good example is in the mango sector. When we formed the Lower Muranga cooperative, we pushed up the price to about 16 bob. The brokers also have to do the same. Same way with in the milk sector. Now cooperatives are now getting more milk compared to the situation before, because now people are saying, if I join a cooperative, I'm going to get this benefit. Same way with maize, they are huge brokers. We suspect that they will aggregate farmers. The price of maize will rise. Then the broker can remain, but he will be competing at the county price level. Yeah.
Interesting, I don't hear you or the previous governor talking a lot about the cash crop of the traditional cash crop of Murang'a, coffee, tea.
And I think for a reason.
Why?
Those are statutory crops. Statutory means they are highly regulated here in Nairobi by national legislations. And therefore, the extent through which a county government can intervene is a little bit constrained. We have KTDA that handles tea. Coffee, also you have many boards here in Nairobi. So it is mainly, yes, it's an agricultural crop, but highly regulated. And therefore you find we can only do as much as a county government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at it, is it clear who is taking the reins? Is the county very clearly taking the reins of centrality now and saying, look, this is the way in which things would be done, and everybody is more or less falling in line? Or is the county giving the people an opportunity to say, okay, what is it that you do? Let us see how we can support you. Which trajectory does it take?
I think it's both. It's both. There has to be leadership on the part of the county, but it's also a constitutional imperative of public participation and people involvement. We synergize. Yes.
Okay.
Let's take a break. We come back and continue, and we will talk about Kang'ata Care. All right. So we are now looking at rolling out universal health coverage across the country, and we've heard about what you've been doing with Kang'ata Care for a while. We want to understand how Kang'ata Care is working and how it will fit with the bigger picture countrywide. 29 minutes after 8, coming up to past. Our guest is Governor Dr. Irungu Kang'ata, the governor of Murang'a County. He's here. We're talking about revenue collection, supporting farmers, and all the things that he's been doing. And Kang'ata Care, taking that as a case study to see how does universal access to healthcare work at county level? How does it then mirror with the national plans?
This